Hello, my friends. Can I ask you a simple question? When was the last time you really listened to English? Not while checking your phone, not while doing other work, not as background noise. I mean sitting down, giving your full attention, and listening carefully to every word. Many English learners hear English every day, but very few people truly practice listening. There is a big difference between hearing English and listening to English. Hearing happens without much effort, but listening is a skill that needs practice. If you want to speak English well, you must first learn to listen carefully. Good listening helps you understand pronunciation, rhythm, and natural speech. That is why strong listening skills often lead to better speaking, even more than studying grammar alone. Here is something that may surprise you. Listening is not a passive skill. It is an active skill that needs practice. In school, many of us sat quietly while the teacher spoke. We heard the words, but we were not really training our listening. Real listening is different. Your brain is working all the time. It is trying to understand words, guess the meaning, connect ideas, and follow the speaker from beginning to end. That is why listening is like exercise for your brain. The more you practice it with focus, the stronger it becomes. But just like any other skill, you need the right method and regular practice. The good news is that you do not need hours every day. Just 15 minutes of careful listening can make a big difference. In this video, I will show you a simple method that you can use every day to improve your English listening step by step. Before we begin, let me tell you about a student named Rohan. He had been learning English for almost 4 years. He knew many English words, but whenever he had a real conversation in English, he often had to ask people to repeat what they said. Sometimes once, sometimes 2 or 3 times, and sometimes even more. Each time it happened, he felt a little embarrassed because he realized he already knew the words. He just could not recognize them when people spoke naturally. The problem was not his vocabulary, it was his listening. His ears were not yet trained to understand English at a natural speed, where words connect and flow together. This is something many English learners experience, and it is completely normal. The good news is that listening is a skill you can train. With the right practice and a little patience every day, your ears become better at recognizing English sounds, and real conversations become much easier to understand. There is a simple reason why real English sounds so different from the English you hear in textbooks. It is because people speak faster, and their words connect naturally. In many textbook recordings, every word is spoken slowly and clearly, like this. I am going to the market. But in everyday conversation, those same words flow together. Native speakers join sounds, shorten some words, and speak with a natural rhythm. If you have ever felt that real English sounds like a completely different language, don't worry. It does not mean your English is weak. It simply means your ears have not had enough practice. Listening is a skill that needs daily training, just like speaking. The more you listen to real conversations, the more your ears will learn to recognize connected speech. Little by little, the fast English that once sounded confusing will begin to sound clear, familiar, and easy to understand. Now I want to share some useful listening tips. Here is your first listening tip, and it may change the way you think about listening practice. Stop judging your success by how much you understand. Instead, pay attention to how much your brain is working. If you understand everything easily, your brain is staying in its comfort zone. But if you understand only part of what you hear and have to think carefully about the rest, your brain is learning something new. Do not be afraid if listening feels a little difficult. That does not mean you are failing. It means you are growing. A little struggle is a normal part of learning any new skill. So during your daily listening practice, accept that you will not understand every word. Focus, keep listening, and let your brain do the work. Just 15 minutes of patient, focused listening every day can make your understanding stronger, your confidence higher, and real English much easier to follow over time. Now let me show you a simple 15-minute listening routine that you can follow every day. It is easy to remember and very effective. During the first 5 minutes, listen to a short English audio or video one time, from beginning to end. Do not pause it. Do not go back. Do not worry if you miss some words. Just keep listening until it finishes. The purpose of the first listening is not to understand every word. It is to help your ears become familiar with natural English. Listen to the speaker's voice, the rhythm, the pronunciation, and the overall meaning. At first, some parts may sound unclear, and that is completely normal. Just like your eyes slowly adjust when you enter a dark room, your ears also need a little time to adjust to natural English. The more often you do this, the easier it becomes to recognize words and understand spoken English. Now move to the second 5 minutes. Listen to the same audio again. This time you can pause whenever you miss an important word or sentence. Go back about 10 seconds and listen to that part one more time. Do not try to memorize it. Your goal is simply to give your ears another chance to hear what they missed the first time. As you listen again, notice what made that part difficult. Was the speaker talking too fast? Did two words connect together? Was there a new sound or pronunciation that you did not recognize? Do not stop to use a dictionary yet. Just listen carefully. Replay the difficult part once or twice, and then continue. This simple habit trains your ears to recognize natural English more quickly. Over time, the parts that once needed a second listen will become easier to understand the first time you hear them. Now it's time for the final 5 minutes. Listen to the same audio one more time, from beginning to end, without pausing or rewinding. This time, relax and pay attention to how much more you can understand. You may notice that words which sounded unclear before are now easier to recognize. Sentences that seemed too fast during the first listening may now sound slower and more natural. This is a sign that your brain is learning. That is the complete 15-minute listening method. Listen once without stopping. Listen again and replay only the difficult parts. Then listen one final time, from beginning to end. It is a simple routine that anyone can follow every day. You do not need long hours of study. Just one short audio, 3 careful listens, and 15 focused minutes. If you practice this consistently, your listening skills will improve step by step, and understanding real English will become easier than you imagined. Let me tell you what happened when Rohan tried this listening method for the first time. One evening after work, he found a short 2-minute English conversation on YouTube. It was a simple conversation about 2 people talking about their daily routine. During the first listen, he understood only about half of what they were saying. During the second listen, he paused and replayed the difficult parts, and he understood much more. After finishing, Rohan smiled and said something interesting. He felt as if the speakers had suddenly started talking more slowly, but the audio had not changed at all. The speakers were using the same speed as before. The real change happened inside his ears and his brain. They had already become more familiar with the sounds, the rhythm, and the words. That small improvement gave him confidence and made him excited to practice again the next day. This is how real listening skills grow. Now let's talk about choosing the right audio for your listening practice. This is more important than many people think. Do not choose something that is too easy, but do not choose something that is too difficult either. The best audio is one where you understand about 50 to 70% the first time you listen. That level is challenging enough to help you improve, but not so difficult that you feel lost. If you understand every word on the first listen, your brain is not being challenged very much. But if you understand almost nothing, you may become frustrated and stop enjoying the practice. Try to find audio that sits between these two levels. It should make you think, pay attention, and listen carefully while still allowing you to follow the main ideas. This is the best level for learning because it helps your listening skills grow little by little, one practice session at a time. Now let me help you to choose the right kind of English to listen. The best listening practice depends on your current level. If English still feels difficult, begin with slow and clear English. Choose simple stories, beginner English podcasts, easy English YouTube channels, or educational videos where the speaker talks slowly and clearly. Your goal is to build confidence while training your ears to recognize English sounds. If you can understand basic English but have problem with natural speed, start listening to short interviews, simple daily vlogs, and travel videos. If you are at an intermediate level, try podcasts under 5 minutes, short documentaries, or casual conversations between two people. The topic is not the most important thing. What matters is choosing audio that matches your level and keeps you interested. When the content is enjoyable, you are much more likely to practice every day. Something interesting happened to Rohan after 2 weeks of practicing this listening method every day. One day, he was watching a video on his phone. He was not trying to study English, but as he watched, he noticed that he was understanding much more than before. Sentences that once sounded too fast were now becoming clear the first time he heard them. Out of curiosity, he played one part again. Not because he had missed it, but because he was surprised that he had understood it so easily.